The book I chose is Capturing the Moment, the sports photography of Bart Silverman. The book is great quality. It's a hardcover book and it uses glossy photo paper for the images, which shows that it is great quality. It makes it seem like I'm handling the actual printed photographs. It makes me not want to leave my fingerprint or any smudges on the pages. However, the only downside to the book, it is quite large, which makes it difficult to handle and flip through the pages. Yes, the book does feel important to the experience. It not only showcases Silverman's work, but also walks us through the sport's history and how each sport has changed over the year. The book showcases colored digital images as well as black and white film photos. From this book, we can see how each individual sport has changed based on simple aspects, such as equipment. If you look at the black and white photos from the hockey section, there are no helmets on any players. But if you look at the more recent digital images in color, we see an appearance of helmets on the hockey players. At first glance, the sequences are quite simple and are categorized by sport, such as football or the big sports events like the Summer Olympics or the US Open. However, if you analyze the book and the images longer, you will notice there are more complex sequences. These complex sequences include facial expressions, moods, and legendary moments within sports history, just to name a few. For example, we see two photographs of two different tennis players at two different US Opens. They are both in the zone grunting through each hit to their opponent. They have similar facial expressions and are in the act of returning the ball back to their opponent. The reason I chose this book is because I love sports, and I thought it was interesting because this isn't your typical sports photography book. Silverman's photos are unique because he tries different angles to help show the audience a different perspective to what is happening at each sporting event. For example, in the New York Marathon photos, Silverman hung out of a helicopter to capture the images of all the runners, which appear to be small figures filling up the street of the city as they race. In addition, he put his camera inside the goalie's net at a hockey game to show a never-before-seen perspective. Silverman was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. However, his dad died at a young age. One day when he was cleaning the closet, he found his dad's camera equipment and described it as finding jewels. He joined the camera club shortly after this in middle school and high school and learned the basics of photography. He then started shooting weddings on the weekend for some extra cash. He went to Brooklyn College, and after graduation, Silverman started photographing at an advertising agency, but he found it boring and he needed more excitement. He found an ad in the paper for a lab technician at the New York Times, and he got the job. He began working in the lab developing other photographers' photographs. He wanted to be a photographer, though, so he decided to take matters into his own hands. He went to a Mets game and photographed. There was already a Times photographer there, so he needed a different approach. He saw loud and rambunctious fans and decided that's what he was going to shoot. He shot pictures of the various fans throughout the game rather than the game itself, and those were his first images to be published in the Times. This led to his promotion of becoming a Times photographer, which he would do for the next 50 years.